Good day, everybody, wherever you are. Today, I want to touch on a subject that I have never spoken before. I never thought of speaking about. It's very controversial, but then I'm not. There's. It's not. Yes, it is. It's about a subject that the questions are seems unanswered. So, anyways, the plethora of information on Google and internet, on YouTube about this. You can get buried in the information, so much information. Uh, I just wanted to just briefly touch on it. What it is Nam Tamlar Katchi, the Tamil South Indian state, Tamil Nadu. Nam Tamlar Katchi, it's the third largest party now in South Indian politics, Tamil politics. The leader, Seeman, uh, amazing individual, gifted speaker, vociferous speaker, and his speeches, when you listen, if you understand the language, if you listen to his speech, even the dead, you see, it's no exaggeration when he says, even if I go to a cemetery, if I give a speech, the dead bodies would rise from their graves. So that's true. He is such a you know such a articulate, eloquent, more than eloquent. He doesn't speak a kind of literary eloquent, but he flows profusely, interesting and rhyming at times, with great alliterations too, and amazing about the Tamils, uh, all everything connected to the Tamils, Tamil cause, the Tamil oppression, and how the it's all about Sri Lankan Tamils. That's oppressed Sri Lankan Tamils by the Sinhalese, but also Indians, Tamils, the 63 million in South India, also facing some kind of subtle oppression from the central government through. They're trying to force the governmental state language Hindi, and Tamil Nadu is the only state I think is just steadfastly in the last 50 years opposing it. Don't trust it upon us, and they have enough pride. Their language, their state, they want their language to be their state language, which is nothing wrong with that. English can be the second language. Why Hindi? But India is trying to be 29 states. They are trying to be oppressive, right? And so Seeman is a great speaker. He's all there for the Tamils. He's become his name is synonymous with the Tamils. Tamils meanings. When you think of Tamils, Seeman seems to be his face seems to comes to your mind. We need somebody like that. But regardless, there are times everything he says is true about everything about environment, about cultivation, the farmers' plight, the globalization, how the foreign corporations trying to invade, take over India. Farmers are committing suicide. All that is true. Everything is. Even in the end, even the matters connected to biology and zoology. And he says, without trees, uh, humans. Trees can live without humans, but humans cannot live trees because that's true. Uh, Without trees, without certain number of trees, your environment, you don't have enough oxygen. The pollution will not be purified. So that's all true. So many things. Everything is great about him, but sometimes in the in the flow of delivering a passionate speech, inadvertently is making some statements in the spur of the moment without thinking, looks goes bad. For instance, he said, if there are, the LTT is being foisted, the Rajiv Gandhi murder is being foisted upon LTT, the Tamil Tigers of Tamil Eelam. But if you go in don't go anywhere. Go you do your research in internet, Google. The plethora of information it will surface how the information has been evidence has been suppressed by a group of individuals and entities and diverting the evidence towards LTTE. Uh, and it seems like they have been foisted with this Rajiv Gandhi assassination. So, in the midst of what's going on with these powerful individuals who have made the country believe the LTT is responsible for this assassination, Seeman coming along in a more spur of the moment in the giving a speech just to say, you take pride that we the Tamilians, we LTT carried out this assassination. You took, be proud to be a Tamilian Tamil. I think that's not appropriate. Why? You dig into the evidence, it seems to point elsewhere, not the LTT. Why? Uh, let's look at quickly. It's I want to finish this in within 15 minutes. LTT started in 75. Prabhakaran, and Prabhakaran was a young lad at the time. Uh, they didn't until 1983. They didn't attack the Sinhalese, not even the soldiers. They attacked. They went after the Tamil traitors whose loyalty and allegiance went above and beyond to the Sinhalese government, going against the Tamils. So they were considered traitors. So he bumped them off, to use a slang, which means they assassinated the Jaffna's uh, mayor, and Jaffna is the territory, the main territory in north and east, where they had established a de facto government and held sway for almost 40 years. So that's that. So first assassination, murder, the apart. I think the rest in 1977. A ruthless, sadistic police chief who was posted in Jaffna. He's a Tamil man, Bastian Pillai. He went against the Tamil cause. He was assassinated. He was he was a he was harassing and torturing the Tamil youths. So a ruthless man. He was assassinated. Then what happened? Until 1983, you know, they had to carry on with their mission. They didn't have money. They robbed the banks, like a Western movie, uh, like whatever, Texas Adios or whatever, robbing Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Clint Eastwood or whatever. They robbed the banks, and with the money, they only started with 22 lads, youths, right? And the movement was growing, and then the splinter movement was growing, and the splinter groups began to form. LTT was the main, then Tello, uh, Heroes, Plot. These were the splinter groups. They're trying to compete with Prabhakaran. Eventually, Prabhakaran eliminated all of them. But then I think Tello, their splinter group members, were there. They were. It was said the three people who were directly involved in the assassination may not be LTT, may be connected to the splinter group Tello, or they could have been. It's still nothing is proven. The group, what is it? Uh, the militant group in Assam known as ULFA, ULFB. They had they had kept standby 31 suicide bombers to assassinate Rajiv Gandhi. We don't know what went in that direction, but evidence shows not seems to be, although all the information is seems planted or whatever pointed at LTT. But seems it's really, when you dig up the information or the evidence, it seems to be pointing in a different direction. Where is it pointing? Okay, it's pointing in the direction of the Indian, then uh, Indian Indian Prime Minister was Chandrasekhar, and who is his right hand man, Subramanian Swamy. Without, they say, Without Subramanian Swamy, Chandrasekhar, the Prime Minister couldn't have come to power, right? And who is Subramanian Swamy's right hand man? He's a religious man known as Guru Chandra Swami. Everybody's a Swami here. The names are so very, it seems so very similar. And Sidambaram was the finance minister. And what are the other entities? There are other others who are in their payroll. Who are the entities that are involved? The foreign entities. They say CIA is involved and Mossad, Israel is involved. Let's take a quick look how the foreign entities are involved. Rajiv Gandhi, when Indira Gandhi was prime minister, she was assassinated by the Sikh militants in 1984. Yes, and but until 1984, LTT, the budding movement from India, after the bank robberies and so on, they escaped to from north of Jaffna. It's only a thin strip of ocean. They escaped to within 30 minutes they can reach South India, Tamil Nadu. So they escaped to Tamil Nadu, and they were embraced. They were supported by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MGR. MGR gave unofficially gave so much money in the millions. Without MGR, the movement couldn't have come to a point where they formed their de facto government and ruled north and east for 40 years and held complete sway 40 years, right? De facto government. They had everything, even a budding Air Force movement. That they owe it to MGR, right? MGR, without his monetary funding, without his donations, they couldn't have. And Indira Gandhi saw the budding movement as in a political far-sighted vision. She thought it's good to groom them because the Sri Lankan Sinhalese government would turn against India, supporting China. It's happening today, right? What she thought would happen. So she wanted some resistance, internal conflict in Sri Lanka. So she groomed these boys who were supported by MGR with money and wherewithal and whatnot. So Indira Gandhi even provided the main intelligence service in India, known as RAW, RAW, to provide training. Not only that, she arranged with the Israeli Mossad group to train these boys. They were trained. Mossad training is said to be one of the best. Don't want to go into details. It's that top, probably the topmost intelligence agency in the world, right? Arguably, I don't know. And they're very, very, very good. So they were trained. The Tamil youths the rebels were trained, militant group, and primarily Prabhakaran's group, LTTE. So what happened? What went wrong with Rajiv Gandhi? He came to power after his mother was assassinated by the Sikh militants. He was sucked into power because he had no prior political background or acumen. He was more or less, they say he was a playboy, married to an Italian woman. Actually, he met her in London, England, whatever that story is. And they say she went to Oxford, but looking at her interviews, the way she speaks English, no, she was not Oxford product. Anyway, that's not to denigrate anybody, but so it stands out. It's glaring at you. So just incidentally. So anyway, Rajiv Gandhi name itself was hijacked. That family was Nehru family. They went and asked when Indira Gandhi married this Muslim man, said to be half. Father was Muslim and mother was Parsi or Persian. So Muslim father, he was Feroz Khan. So if Indira Gandhi at that time, Indira Nehru, father was Nehru, the first prime minister after independence. If she met this guy in London, England, wanted to marry as a young girl, father in his political with his political acumen and astute. He was a very astute, cunning man. He thought, okay, his progeny should continue in his footsteps, meaning his daughter should become a prime minister as well. So he went to Mahatma Gandhi, the the father of the nation, and asked, "Will you please adopt a Muslim young man like you preached to the nation who are lost life children in the Hindu-Muslim religious holocaust or conflict?" So Gandhi had accepted it. So they took the permission, and Feroz Khan became Feroz Gandhi. So the name was hijacked. So the Gandhi name, in Nehru family inherited Gandhi. So Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, now Rahul Gandhi, children of the Italian-born Sonia. She also has the Mahatma Gandhi's name. She's Italian-born who Rajiv met in England. She became Sonia Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi and Menaka Gandhi, all Gandhi names. So the family hijacked the name. That's the truth. So, anyways, what happened? Rajiv Gandhi came to power. He messed up. He did everything to, I guess, brought about his downfall. First, he went against the American interest. It is said American wanted the Voice of America radio station branch opened in Colombo. He stood against that, vetoed against that, saying that CIA would use that to spy on Indian South Asian affairs. So he stood against that. What else? He didn't. He went against the globalization economic policy of America. He stood against that. That again aggravated the American government. What else did he do? By the way, he did 1991 when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. When Americans wanted to attack Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, and the 1991 Operation something escapes. Anyway, that first war, Iraq War, Rajiv Gandhi's Americans wanted to they wanted to stop in India, because I think they wanted to come from the other side. They have military bases in Guam, which is further away, but military base in Philippines. From there, they wanted to come. They have warplanes. They wanted to refuel their planes in the Indian airports. But Rajiv Gandhi in the parliament at that time, it was Chandrasekhar who was prime minister, and Subramanian Swami is the right hand man of Chandrasekhar. Rajiv Gandhi stood against it. He vetoed. So that was Chandrasekhar approved prime minister. So he really and truly earned the wrath of Americans, going against every American. Every time American wanted India to assist them in their moves, and so the Rajiv Gandhi foreign policy was completely against American policy. So Americans, and not only that, he went against the Israel government, embracing the PLO, Yasser Arafat, right? That aggravated the Israeli government, and so Americans and Israelis, they are allies, So what happened? That brought about, I guess, in one way or the other. One second. Like I said, one way or the other, he earned the wrath of the Americans and Israelis. So, who's behind who are the staunch pro-American men? Subramanian Swami, Sonia Gandhi, Chandra Swami, the religious man. Subramanian Swami is the right-hand man, and Finance Minister Chidambaram. And what are the entities involved? CIA and Mossad, Israeli. So anyway, the assassination was committed on the 21st of May 1991 at 10:15 p.m. Who were the three people who detonated the bomb? Three young people by the name, two females and one male. They're probably in their late teens, early 20s. Danu, Shubha, and Sivarasan. And Danu, Shubha, and Sivarasan came to the venue where Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. But who brought them? There was a lady in South Congress politician in Tamil Nadu. Her name was Maragadam Chandrasekhar. I think she's no more now. Her son was Lalit Chandrasekhar. Apparently Maragadam Chandrasekhar, part of Congress party, invited Rajiv Gandhi Congress party to come to Tamil Nadu and campaign on her behalf. So Rajiv Gandhi came, but every time on the previous 16 occasions, his wife always accompanied him. This was said to be the 17th occasion he came for the campaigning. Not in the previous occasion, maybe for other reasons, but I don't know. But 17th occasion for camp, he came. Or Sonia Gandhi apparently backed off. He said, "No, you go alone" or something. So he came alone, accompanied by Sonia Gandhi. Subramanian Sami was to come, join them. Some other business he was supposed to come take the plane at 6:30 or something to come to Madurai for some business. I don't know if that had anything to do with this, but he's in the opposite camp. He's in BJP. So Rajiv Gandhi is Congress. So Subramaniam Sami didn't come. This is said. This evidence was coming from his personal secretary Velusamy. All the Swamis, don't get confused. So Velusamy says he was supposed to meet with me in Madurai, South India, but he didn't come. He didn't catch the flight for whatever reason. Missed the flight, right? And but anyway, the murder occurred. The assassination took place at 10:15 p.m. on the 21st of May. 10:15. His body was splintered. Rajiv Gandhi's gone to pieces. So they couldn't recognize who is so many people died. The three individuals who joined. They say it's Tello. They say it's LTT. We don't know for sure. And there's speculation they could be the splinter group members who are left from Tello, or they even could be from the Assam group. Who knows? It's all speculation now. But they directed the evidence, suppressed a lot of information towards LTT. LTT is the movement as an they upheld their policies and they upheld their principles. Whatever they did, they were militant, but they maintained, they upheld their they worked towards the principles were always upheld, and they were always disciplined. They never never assassinated foreigners unless they invade their land. So when Prabhakaran was asked about, he said it's a very unfortunate event why Rajiv Gandhi was murdered. He said indirectly, I mean, at other interviews he had said we never assassinate or we never harm foreigners unless they directly come into our land and intervene. So our conflict is with the Sinhalese, not even the general public. It's the Sinhalese military, the army or the forces, not with anybody else, not with the Sinhalese general public. So they maintained that principle, and just the evidence suddenly pointing in their direction and foisting everything on them is highly questionable. Questions are unanswered. Why, how, when Subramanian Sami's personal secretary called him, it was in 1991. There was no internet, no cell phone, nothing, no social media, nothing. Information couldn't have passed in 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes nobody else couldn't have called him. The body was not identified until after 30 minutes by a Congress member by the name Jayanti Nadarajan, I believe. Yeah. Only after 30 minutes. But in 5 minutes, 10:15, in the next 5 minutes, 10:20, Velusamy called Subramanian Sami, his boss. He picked up the phone, and the first thing Subramanian Swami asked, "Are you calling about the Rajiv Gandhi explosion to tell me he's dead?" How does he know? He says he didn't even say a word. right? And later he recalls, he says, how could he know? Information couldn't have gone. The body was identified only after 30 minutes. And he says, you're calling me to tell Rajiv Gandhi is, Rajiv Gandhi is dead in the explosion. So, so he raises the question, unanswered. And the second thing is Subramanian Swami, and he says uh, about Rajiv Gandhi. The next thing Velusamy says is uh, he's supposed to, Subramanian Swami is supposed to meet with him in Madurai, and but he didn't take the flight. He missed the flight. So when he raised the question, uh, you're not here. Did you cancel your flight? And his answer was, I didn't cancel the flight. I didn't book the flight. So that again raises questions and speculations. And then there had been other scandals. Scandals, these people, these individuals are involved with BCCI Bank, money transferring, evading taxes, big money, big time, money, big time. So BCI Bank, who are the people who are having accounts in BCI Bank? Chandra Swami, generally, bigs or the politicians or like drug leaders, people who are dealing with illicit money in the hundreds of millions. Their way of storing the ill-gotten money, or to channeling the ill-gotten money from illicit sources to banks like in Dubai, Cayman Islands, and I lately learned that little island known as Saint Kitts. It's a very insignificant, tiny island in Caribbeans. They too, and there was scandals about these people involved in money, channeling money, illicit money to evade tax, and the source to evade the question of where the money came from. So, but every inquiry was done by the people who are in the government. They're all one clique, one gang. So they come out scot-free, hey, foolish people are fabricating information against us. We are sinless. We are really, really saints. We never do anything questionable or anything to do with criminal activity. So always they come out scot-free. That said, who is keeping who has accounts in BCI banks? Subramanian Swami, Chandra Swami, Adnan Khashoggi. Who is Adnan Khashoggi? The biggest arms dealer in the world. What does he have? He has, I believe I read an article about him in 1987 in the Times magazine. His luxury plane has a rug. The rug, the price of that rug is $250,000. Just a rug in the plane, $250,000. So, and he's said to be the topmost, richest at the time, the biggest arms dealer. He's from the Turkish Jewish origin. So he has account. So along with him, our friend Subramaniam Swami, Chandra Swami, and all these Swamis are there, their accounts. And who else is there? The entities like CIA and Mossad maintains accounts, transactions there, money is transferring. So all this has come up in the investigation, but the investigation was headed three investigation: Varma Commission, Jain Commission, MDMA Commission, and someone by the name Narayan was appointed as the head of these commissions and whatnot. Too many information. I'm trying to cut it short. It's too much to be said. So you decide. I guess it's up to you. This is almost going to be 30 minutes. So what did Rajiv Gandhi did when they wanted to refuel in 1991? They went against American interests. When the Prime Minister himself had approved it, Rajiv Gandhi, opposition minister, opposition party stood against it. That's that. So we'll stop at that. You decide, okay? And for Seeman to come out in the meeting and say, be proud when they accused, yeah, we Tamils, the LTT, we carried out that assassination. Don't you be afraid because we have that spirit. Because Rajiv Gandhi went against us. Rajiv Gandhi went against LTT, true, but Rajiv Gandhi has gone against Israel and US far more than what he did to the LTT. And Rajiv Gandhi had other enemies too. The Assam militants who were waiting to assassinate him. And then the splinter groups from LTT. Tello was waiting to, were they said to be speculation. I have no evidence. I'm only digging up internet and sharing it with you. So that said, you be the judge. If I had said anything to denigrate anybody or anything that's you think is incorrect, factually incorrect, please correct me. I'm a willing learner. And if I had said anything against any community, that's not my intention. Correct me with your comments. Tell me what I should do or what I shouldn't do. I'll correct myself. Please. Thank you. God bless everybody. And I wish everybody well. And unfortunately, there is evil prevailing in the world. And we, the common masses, the commoners, the public, are not aware. And so when media says something, it's not what they say you need to worry about, what they are not saying. Media works for political organizations, unfortunately. So we cannot, we don't know what is true and what is false. So we'll leave it at that. Speculation abounds, questions unanswered, evidence point in one direction, diverted by powerful individuals, very powerful individuals. Some of them are no more, but really, and even today, people are rolling in big money, unimaginable money. Hundreds of millions are involved. People are getting rich, doing crooked deals. That's the world we live in. Thank you. Thank you. Correct me. Please correct me with your comments. Thank you all.